Hey, what's up guys, my name is Sam. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based in Malaysia, but today we're actually in Singapore, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about one of the probably the most hated feature on the R, and that is the touch bar. When the R first got announced, a lot of people, just like when the MacBook Pro got announced, people were confused with the touch bar, and the same thing is here. And as people started to get used to the camera, people still didn't understand how to fully maximize the touch bar, and today I want to talk about how I use it and how hopefully it can help you in your workflow, because the feature is already there. You might as well use the most out of it. Why is it holding so much? So the first thing that I want to talk about is actually in the playback function. So if you know, you can actually customize the touch bar for both shooting and the playback function. So on the playback function, what I do is I use it to rate my images. Touching either left or right will actually rate to 1 star, and how this is helpful is because if you're an event photographer or if you shoot a lot of pictures, just rating your images lets you know which one to choose, so when you bring it back into the edit, it's much quicker for you to select your images already. So tip number 2 is using your touch bar for AF methods. So I use the touch bar for 2 things. The first one is to switch my AF methods. So I only use about 2 to 3 AF methods. First is face detect, and the second is single point. So what I do is when I swipe to the left, I can really enable face detect, and if I swipe to the right, it goes to single point. And if I feel like on certain occasions I need a little bit more, I limit my AF functions to 1 or 2 or maybe 3, maybe zone focusing for example. So I'll just swipe, and I can quickly change between focus modes instead of clicking the back of the screen. The third tip, still AF, is selecting both your left and right clicks for your touch bar. So basically, if I'm on single point autofocus, what I'll do is my left click actually changes the size of my AF frame. So if I click it once and it's already on large AF frame, I can click it again and become smaller. And on my right touch bar, what I do is I enable eye detect. So what I can do is on the right touch bar, I just have to tap it and it enables eye detect, and if I don't want it, I just disable it, just like that. So the other option, when I'm shooting more video, what I will do is I will actually use my touch bar to punch in when I'm manually focusing. Now unfortunately, you cannot set your touch bar settings for video and photo. Unfortunately, they have to be the same across the board. But thankfully, Canon has actually user presets where basically if you're shooting video for an entire day, all you have to do is just select user preset to punch in for focus, and all you do is you swipe right or left and it will punch in for you, check your focus, press record, and it will go back out. Tip number 5 is there is this thing called manual function bar safety locks. If you set this function, basically you have to hold the touch bar for a while before you can enable anything, and this stops you from accidentally changing any settings if you have on your touch bar. However, I find this very limiting. I find it very difficult to press, hold it, and then only change. So what I do is I actually customize my buttons, which is basically the lock button up here. I customize it so that when I press lock, it only locks the function of my touch bar. So if I unlock it, then I can use my touch bar. If I can't, if I lock it, then my touch bar doesn't work. So this is just easier, because what happens is that I just press lock, change, and if I know I'm going to be accidentally changing it, I'll just lock it so that if anything happens, I don't accidentally change my focus settings. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this gave you a few tips on how to use the touch bar and how to use, because it's already on your camera, you might as well make the most of it. Let me know if you use the touch bar for anything else, and I will see you in the next one.